Hey all, so Voxlblade came out Monday, and I've been playing it ever since, and I haven't really made a video on it yet, so this will be my first video on the fully released Voxlblade. But yeah, so ever since Voxlblade came out, I've been kind of on the grind, as you can see by my level, but so here's this build, and this build was based off of the Rot Warrior armor, the Rot Fighter armor, that I talked about in my Dual Great Swords video, how it heals off poison. And I kind of capitalize on that. So here's the armor. I'll go into sections. I'm gonna talk about each set, but so here's the armor. Right now I am rocking the Summoner's Skull Mage cloak, the Lich King pants, and I'll talk about my rune in a little bit. But for my helmet, I'm rocking a Berserking Rotwood Fighter hat. Now, the reason I'm using the Skull Mage is because the Skull Mage has an ability called Pain Distribution, where basically a portion of your damage is divided between all of your summons, but I only use one, which I'm going to talk about later. But it's just a nice little benefit, and also these stat buffs are really nice. The Hex boost, the magic defense. And then we have the Lich King armor, which this is the main piece of armor that you're going to want for this set, mainly because of sacrificial summoning, which that does a portion of damage. Summoning applies poison to your and your summons last longer, which this doesn't really matter because of the weapon I'm using, but the poison is the main part, because that's basically how you're gonna end up healing like this. And I heal a lot of HP, especially because it scales off of not only my rune but also my weapon art, and which both have a very short cooldown. So in total, I'll be getting almost 30 HP every 25 to 30 seconds, which is pretty nice, especially because of the other benefits. But I'll talk about that later. All right, but now it's time to talk about well, I have a bunch of summon boost, as you can see up here by my summon boost. This is mainly in help to all of these items down here. This I need to get this max level and get a summoning enchant on that, which I'm gonna work on that later. But the Rotwood Fighter hat, the reason I have this is because I just wanted the extra Undying Rot. Which, speaking of that, I put an entire set of Undying Rot in Infusion, which, to be honest, that took me a while because I soon realized that you can't enchant or upgrade items that you want to infuse, so I kind of wasted a little bit of time on that, but that's okay. But basically, you're going to want to get the Rotwood Fighter set, and you're also going to want to get the full set of Rotwood armor, so you can get this amount of Undying Rot, which I have 5.2, and the reason for that is I would originally have 4.4 if it wasn't for my guild. So the guild I went, as you can tell here by my hand, is the Hex Guild, as you can see. But basically, what the Hex Guild does is, the main benefit that I liked from it was that it gives you an extra 3 points on each of these stats. So when I had 4 armor pieces, like this Rotwood Fighter helmet right here, I actually have the 0.52. So that just means I heal even more, which was it's just a really nice extra benefit, and I put Berserking on it because I think it's time to actually talk about the weapon. But so here, let's go into the weapon menu areas here. So as you can see here, I am using the Skull Mace right here, as you can see, and I am also using the Queen Bumbz handle. And along with that, for my weapon art, I am using the Mage Summon Bomber. But as you can see here off of my damage scalings, you can see that I scale off Hex and Physical. And then my other damage scalings are Hex, Physical, and Magic. And then you can see my boost down here. But the main perk that you want to get out of this is from the Queen Bee Pole, which is the Queen's Power. Now, what that does is right here. So I'll show you it in stats, but basically what this does is, after using a summon, you gain a small buff that gives you an attack speed, and it makes your attacks, your M1s, scale off of your summon boost. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, as a summoner, you're not going to be doing a lot of damage, just overall. See there, I did about 46.2, which that, in contrast, to actually fighting enemies, you're not going to be doing a lot of damage. However, when you summon an enemy, you'll see that you start to glow for a short period of time. And I'm pretty sure if you wanted to use the bumbz core, which is not the hex hammer that I use, it'd probably last even longer. But basically what ends up happening is, oh, here, I'll show you it again, because it just comes back fast. You swing much faster and you deal a lot more damage, as you can see. And this is mainly in help to the fact that it's just a really nice benefit. And the main reason I use it is because of how fast my rune and weapon art come back. Because of I can basically just cycle between these two, and when I'm fighting bosses like Lord Frog or the Queen Bee, I can basically just cycle between these. Start fighting them, you know, M1 them, you know, dodge their attacks or whatever. But mainly, you're going to want to be on the offensive, and then once it runs out, you can just activate the Bee Bomber and then just keep going. And then you can also play really passive as well with these two moves, because for the Lord Frog, the Mage Bomber is a really nice move to use, especially for like just clearing crowds, as you can switch to the Fireball rune and just get them out of there because they'll go for them. And also the Bee, because it can distract enemies as well. But other than that, this build is it's pretty good. Like, unironically, I thought it'd be kind of a troll funny build, but no, it's actually like pretty fun. For a summoner, I think it's pretty good compared to like what other people are doing. I'm not sure. I also gotta say though, my drip is on fleek. Like, woof, I look cool. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's everything about my build. I don't believe I'm missing anything, but here's all my armors. I have the bumbz. Just gonna go over everything again. I don't really think there's anything. Oh yeah. Some alternate stuff that you could do for this build actually is you could definitely. I was talking about this. It was the full-on mage. This right here, the actual core. And if you wanted to do this, something you could do is if you get the hex. Somebody commented this. It's the Hex Magician shirt right here. And what this gives is Final Act. And what Final Act does is, so as you can see here, it's about to explode, just like that. So this is something that you could do with the Final Act, is you could get the Swarm armor, and you could also just stack a bunch of different bosses, and then have them do hex damage, by proxy explode, and you could probably make them heal. But there's a lot that you can do with Summoner. Like, it is ridiculous how much you can do with Summoner. And I honestly, yeah, but I don't know. There isn't really a lot to keep going into. But yeah, this is my stupid Regeneration Summoners build. If you have any builds that, like, really stupid builds that you want me to try out and go, definitely comment down the comments and let me know. But other than that though, I have a build idea for my next build. But yeah, I'll see you guys later, and yeah, thank you for watching.